Crazy week for clowns making absolute fools of themselves at sporting events in the stands.
Sometimes you need that reset. Oh.
And Bader just unloads on this one. Deep left field, and that one is gone as Bader.
We had the Polish millionaire CEO who stole the hat from that kid.
A Karen decided it was a good idea to steal a home run ball from a little boy.
And now, I'm sure a lot of you have already seen the clip, we have this Karen at a Phillies game steal a baseball from a kid.
She didn't catch a home run. She caught the internet's rage. A Phillies fan at Citizens Bank Park didn't just grab a foul ball, she grabbed it straight from a child's hands, and instead of apologizing, she doubled down with screeching, finger-pointing, and bragging. Now, she's been branded the ultimate Karen, and her 15 seconds of shame are spreading faster than the clip itself.
Now, when a home run is actually hit, folks, fans will actually try and get the ball. And in the video, to me, man, it looks pretty clear that the boy's father got the ball.
The contradiction couldn't be sharper. Baseball is supposed to be about innocence. Kids getting a ball is one of the sport's purest traditions, but what happened here flipped that moment upside down. The ball rolled into the stands, a father scooped it up, and immediately handed it to his son. But within seconds, this woman stormed in, yelling, flailing, and demanding it was hers.
It's like she was made in a lab to be a Karen. She just epitomizes the meaning behind the insult.
The dad, not wanting a fight, finally surrendered the ball. That should have ended it. Instead, it set off one of the most viral fan meltdowns we've seen all year. Spectators weren't confused. They were horrified. Some compared her shrieks to a jump scare straight out of a horror movie. Others said she looked like a Meat Canyon cartoon. Too perfectly absurd to be real. Even the father's startled reaction has gone viral, with viewers replaying his shocked hand motions like a scene from a comedy sketch. But the comedy quickly curdled into anger, because while adults laughed, the boy who had been given the ball looked crushed. That single detail, the child's upset face, transformed the incident from silly to scandalous.
Wow. This is pathetic.
Here's where it gets even more brutal. While the woman gloated about winning, the Phillies themselves stepped in. According to fans who shared the story online, the young boy didn't just go home empty-handed. Players and staff gave him something far better, a signed bat. The organization made it clear who they believed the real victim was. That decision lit up comment sections. Instead of sympathy, the woman now held a baseball tainted with humiliation. Fans online even joked it carried cursed energy, a reminder that sometimes karma hits harder than a foul ball off the bat. But the scandal didn't end in the stands. Multiple new camera angles surfaced on TikTok and Twitter, breaking down the moment frame by frame like a Zapruder film for sports drama. From slow-motion replays to amateur detective analysis, fans tried to figure out if she ever truly touched the ball. The conclusion? Number. The angles suggest she may have reached for it, maybe even grazed it, but she never controlled it. Her claims that the dad ripped it away don't hold up.
But from where the guy in the red shirt gets it, it seems too far away for them to have reached it. So I think what happened is they might have tried to get it, and they might have even, touched it, but it doesn't look like they ever actually grabbed it. It looks more like they were trying to recover a fumble in football and it got away from them.
That revelation turned the internet's ridicule into outrage. Not only did she take the ball, but she built her defense on a story that doesn't match the footage. And the internet doesn't forgive liars lightly. Within hours, the video was everywhere. Sports blogs, meme accounts, even mainstream outlets. Suddenly, one woman's bad day at a baseball game became a cultural spectacle. And the question wasn't just who got the ball, it was what her behavior revealed about viral sports culture itself. The Phillies' Karen didn't just ruin one child's moment, she accidentally united the internet against her. From the second alternate angles hit Twitter, the floodgates opened, meme accounts pounced. TikTok stitched the clip into parody after parody, and Reddit threads dissected every shriek, gesture, and excuse. Fans didn't see a tough call about who touched a ball first. They saw an adult tantrum so exaggerated it felt scripted, and they didn't hold back.
Hey, get out of there! Hear it! Hear it!
Yeah, she lost her mind. This woman completely lost her mind.
One top comment on TikTok summed up the mood. She looks like a dementor feeding on happiness. Another compared her shrill voice to a fire alarm that won't shut off. Dozens of users re-edited the clip with horror movie soundtracks, turning her screeches into jump scares. Others added Meat Canyon-inspired filters, exaggerating her face into a caricature of entitlement. Even Philadelphia fans, who are infamous for defending bad behavior in the stands, couldn't rally to her side. Instead, the consensus was brutal. She had embarrassed the city. Insiders say the Phillies organization itself wasn't blind to the fallout. According to one local sports blogger, stadium staff quickly coordinated to make sure the child got a signed bat, knowing public perception was at stake. The irony couldn't be sharper. While she clutched the ball like a trophy, the boy walked away with something priceless, backed by the entire team. That moment wasn't just a consolation prize, it was a message. The Phillies chose their side, and it wasn't hers. The timing of the meltdown made things even worse. Just days earlier, the world had exploded over Polish millionaire CEO Piotr Szczerek snatching a tennis player's hat from a boy at the US Open. That clip had already been called the worst fan moment of 2025. Now, barely a week later, another adult was caught stealing from a kid in the stands.
I had to cut the audio from this part here because of a song that plays during it, but she gets right up in this guy's face barking at him. So I'm guessing he was saying something about, like, her behavior being embarrassing or something, so she did not take that lightly.
Commentators drew immediate parallels. Sports writer Will Leitch tweeted, "First the CEO steals a hat, now a Karen steals a ball. What's next? Someone taking cotton candy out of a toddler's hands?" The juxtaposition turned her into part of a bigger, uglier trend, adults weaponizing entitlement in places meant for kids. And when scandals overlap, the internet gets ruthless. Side-by-side edits place the CEO and the Phillies Karen together with captions like, "Meet the villains of 2025 sports." YouTubers created compilation videos mocking both incidents, racking up millions of views. One viral Reddit thread even suggested Major League Baseball should ban her for life, echoing the punishments sometimes given to violent fans. Whether or not MLB acts, the comparison alone elevated her from an anonymous spectator to a national punchline. But the most dangerous fallout wasn't the memes, it was the cultural conversation starting to form around them. Because if one CEO and one Karen could spark this much outrage in back-to-back weeks, what does it say about how sports culture has shifted? Fans weren't just laughing, they were asking hard questions, and those questions would push this scandal into uncharted territory. At first, the woman tried to defend herself. Shaky phone clips captured her screaming that the father had ripped it right out of her hands. She repeated the line over and over, pointing at the boy's dad as though the crowd would back her up. But the internet doesn't rely on eyewitness accounts anymore. It relies on footage. And soon, multiple camera angles appeared that shredded her story in real time. Sports vloggers broke down the play frame by frame, like NFL analysts dissecting a touchdown. One YouTuber slowed the moment to a crawl, pointing out the trajectory of the ball as it bounced into the row. His conclusion matched what many fans suspected. The ball hit seats near her, but she never actually controlled it. At best, she brushed it. At worst, she invented a claim to justify snatching it later. Either way, there was no visible struggle, no ripping motion, no proof that her hands ever closed around the souvenir. Her "he stole it from me" narrative collapsed under forensic review. Even insiders weighed in. According to a Philly sports radio host, stadium security quietly checked with ushers in that section, who confirmed the father was the one who grabbed the ball cleanly before handing it to his son. The woman's version, they suggested, was pure imagination. That detail, reported on air the next morning, sealed her reputation. Not only had she stolen a child's joy, but she had tried to rewrite history while dozens of cameras rolled. Meanwhile, the kid's quiet disappointment became the emotional center of the story. Still images of his confused face as the woman strutted away began circulating on Twitter, racking up tens of thousands of likes. Commentators contrasted that with her gleeful expression, noting the jarring symbolism. It wasn't just entitlement, it was entitlement at the expense of a child. That's a cultural red line, and once crossed, forgiveness becomes nearly impossible. And then came the cruelest twist, the cursed trophy. Reports suggest the Phillies' decision to give the boy a signed bat wasn't just generosity, it was damage control. PR consultants who spoke anonymously to Sports Business Journal said organizations are now hyper-aware of viral fan incidents after the CEO hat scandal. By rewarding the boy instantly, the Phillies made sure the child's story ended positively, leaving the woman stuck with the tainted ball. One insider put it bluntly, "That ball is radioactive. She can't ever show it off without being clowned." The revelations didn't just debunk her claim, they turned her into a cautionary tale, because in 2025, every angle is recorded, every reaction is scrutinized, and every excuse can be disproven in hours. And in her case, the truth wasn't just inconvenient, it was humiliating. If the slow-motion replays destroyed her defense, the live crowd destroyed her dignity. Fans in the stands didn't just boo, they mocked her openly, shouting quips, laughing in her face, and filming every second. One clip shows her storming toward another spectator who dared call her out, barking like she was in a shouting contest rather than a ballpark. The man filming, clearly amused, could be heard chuckling, "Yeah, you tell it," before dissolving into laughter. In that moment, the balance shifted. She wasn't just stealing a ball, she was playing the role of the villain in a live theater production watched by thousands in real time. The more she tried to defend herself, the worse it got. Eyewitnesses said she spent minutes circling the section, screeching at anyone who mocked her. Instead of leaving with her prize, she lingered, feeding the fire. It was the exact opposite of what crisis managers would advise. Never escalate when you're in the wrong. But she couldn't help herself, and in doing so, she gave the internet endless ammunition. Clips of her confrontations were stitched together on TikTok, set to circus music, and captioned with lines like, "Karen takes the L and keeps arguing." Comparisons poured in from every corner of sports culture. Commentators pointed out that Philadelphia fans have booed Santa Claus, thrown batteries at players, and worn their rowdiness as a badge of honor. Yet even this crowd turned against her. That, insiders say, is telling. A former Phillies staffer wrote on X, "If you can't win over Philly fans, you've really blown it. They love chaos, but they don't love clowns." The irony hit hard. A city famous for celebrating outrageous fan antics drew the line at her behavior. The humiliation didn't stop at the stadium. National media outlets picked up the story, replaying the clips on morning shows and sports segments. ESPN analysts debated whether she should be banned from games. Barstool Sports uploaded a montage mocking her, while meme accounts treated her like the week's main character, a title no one wants. By the weekend, she wasn't a Phillies fan. She was the Phillies Karen, frozen forever in viral infamy, and just when it seemed the storm might fade, the Polish CEO comparison came roaring back. Viral edits spliced her face next to Piotr Sturek, the hat-snatching millionaire, with captions like, "Meet the sports villains of 2025. Fans began joking that there should be a hall of shame for adults stealing from kids. Even Jimmy Kimmel cracked a joke in his monologue, quipping, "We had the CEO stealing a hat, and now this woman stealing a ball. What's next? The Pope tackling a kid for cotton candy?" The audience roared, and the meme cycle started fresh. By this point, her meltdown wasn't just a clip, it was a cultural joke. She had crossed the line from anonymous fan to internet archetype. And in today's landscape, once you become a symbol, there's no easy way back. By the end of the week, the Phillies' Karen wasn't just another bad fan. She was a case study in how quickly ordinary people can become infamous in the age of viral cameras. Think about it. One foul ball, one tantrum, and she went from anonymous spectator to global meme within hours. That's not just bad luck, it's the reality of modern sports culture. When every fan has a phone and every moment has multiple angles, entitlement doesn't just get noticed. It gets magnified, dissected, and replayed until the internet has wrung out every ounce of humiliation. Her downfall also exposed something bigger, the fragility of reputation. Unlike Piotr Sturek, the millionaire CEO, who had his job and company reputation shredded after stealing a boy's hat, this woman didn't have corporate power to lose. But she still lost something priceless: her anonymity. Local outlets revealed her name, fans posted her section and row, and social media carried her face across the globe. She can never walk into a ballpark again without wondering if someone recognizes her as that woman. In some ways, that may sting more than losing a job. She's stuck as a permanent punchline, branded by a single act she can't erase. For the institutions, the lesson was clear. The Phillies wasted no time rewarding the boy with a signed bat. According to sports business insiders, this wasn't just kindness, it was brand management. Teams are realizing that fan scandals now live longer than the games themselves. Every foul ball, every t-shirt toss, every autograph moment can be hijacked into a PR nightmare if handled poorly. Giving the boy a bat was damage control, but also a warning shot to fans everywhere. Teams will side with kids every time, and those who cross that line will be left with nothing but shame. And culturally, this wasn't just about a baseball. It was about a shift in tolerance. Fans online pointed out that 2 viral sports meltdowns in 1 week, one at the US Open, one at a Phillies game, felt less like coincidences and more like a pattern. Adults trying to claim moments meant for kids isn't just selfish. It's symbolic of a culture where entitlement clashes with community joy. And that's why the outrage felt so universal. Whether you're a tennis fan in Poland or a baseball fan in Philadelphia, you recognize the same betrayal. The Phillies' Karen thought she won a ball. In reality, she lost the internet's respect. And in 2025, that's a loss you can never recover from. If one foul ball can turn a fan into a villain, imagine what happens when the next scandal drops. Subscribe now so you don't miss it, because the next sports meltdown might already be loading in your feed.